If there's one thing AMD's good at, it's disappointment. Hey guys, welcome to Frame Chasers, and the AMD presentation just finished. So what do we do here at Frame Chasers? We check all the benchmarks over, we make an analysis, we make a prediction, we find out where the chips on the board lie. For those of you that have been following me since the Ampere launch, everything that we do here is dead on. 99% of the time. You can't fake benchmarks. You can swindle the numbers a little bit in your favor, but when it comes to hard benchmarks, it is what it is. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going over all the numbers that AMD touted in their slides. We're going to be comparing it with all the things that I have, and then we're going to draw an analysis of whether or not AMD is going to win in gaming. And my prediction was, if they don't get the fabric clock higher than the last gen, they still lose. And it's been confirmed, the fabric clock is not any higher than it was in Zen 2. So my prediction is they still lose. It's funny, I was actually way more stoked about Zen 3, and I kind of knew Big Navi was going to be a kind of a flop because AMD GPUs always are. But then it's kind of the opposite now, where I'm kind of a little bit more excited over Big Navi, and Zen 3 is a massive flop. So, yeah, kind of funny how that works out. But let's see what the numbers tell us anyway. All right, guys, how's it going? So first thing we're going to do here, we're going to go over these numbers that they're touting. So in their slide, where is it here? They start with Shadow of the Tomb Raider first. Where is it here? Here it is. So we know that they're using 1080p high, right? And later on they say the specs of the machines that they're showing. So they're showing a 10900K, 3600 megs of RAM, and they're using 2080 Ti, right? Obviously they're gimping the Intel system a little bit, but we know that their FPS average for Rise of the Tomb Raider, or Shadow of the Tomb Raider, was 181. If you go with the numbers that I already have on my benchmarks, Shadow of the Tomb Raider 1080p high, 2080 Ti, 202 FPS. So a 10900K still wins. Like a properly tuned one. This is a 10900K at 5.3 gigahertz and 4133 RAM, right? So I could do a benchmark. No, I'm not gonna bother. No one in their right mind with a 10900K is gonna leave it stock. That's just that's the reality here. And the reality is a 5900 XT or whatever, or 5900X, whatever they're showing here. You can't. Okay, the thing is, 3600 megahertz RAM on a Ryzen is the fabric being topped out, pretty much. That is what most AMD chips can top out at. And we know now that the I/O die is the same for both generations, and the fabric clock max is the same for both generations. So a 5900X with 3600 megahertz RAM, this is what you're gonna get. 181 FPS, that's the best you're gonna get. On the 10900K, this is the best that you're gonna get. That's the difference. Probably get even faster than this, but this is the best that you're gonna get. Also keep in mind that with these numbers, you can see that the higher performance the GPU, the more the gap is going to increase. So this isn't like the 10900K has more room to grow with the faster GPU. So the numbers that they're showing, they picked a 2080 Ti on purpose. They didn't use a 3090 because if they used a 3090 and they compared it with a 10900K, they would have gotten blasted on those slides, right? That's why they use a 2080 Ti. even a power modded 2080 Ti, look how much more FPS you get with the 10900K, right? There's way more headroom on an Intel system. Let's move on here. So we already know that the Ryzen chip loses in gaming. I don't even have to show much more than that, but let's go over to the big slide here. Not this one. Where is it here? Here we go. So what did I say in my last video? If they show all the games that fit in the cache, then you know right away they lose. Battlefield 5, obviously they're going to lose, right? But this is, you still have to keep in mind, this is a stock 10900K. So it's running at, what do they even run at? I don't even know. 10900K. What's the base frequency here? All core. What's the all core? 4.9? All core. I think it's 4.9. Why is this not working? Whatever, 4.8, 4.9. So there's another 300 megahertz at least on a 10900K that you can get. Even the worst binned 10900Ks can get 300 megahertz more. And also keep in mind, a 10900K stock runs at 4.3 gigahertz cache. 4 gigahertz cache? I'm not even sure. But you can get up to 4.8, 4.9 gigahertz cache. This is all the Intel overclocking headroom makes all these graphs a complete wash. Just mark my words. We don't even have FPS figures here, but all the games that they're touting here. So when it comes to CPUs and you're a gamer, the 10900K is still going to be king. Sorry to say, guys. I was really hoping that AMD would pull ahead this generation, but they still have not. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on here. I'm so disappointed with this. This is such a shit show. I don't even know why AMD. Why does AMD even try to tout gaming performance? They still lose. Anyone with half a brain is gonna. I mean, I guess most humans don't have half a brain, so they're gonna eat this shit up. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Zen 3 is gonna lose. Sorry, guys, it's a fact. It is what it is. It's still the 5950 XT is still going to be the best single PC all around system. If you want to stream, do some light video editing on the side, content creation while gaming and stuff. Yeah, of course. 5950 XT, you're going to be within spitting distance of a 10900K, and you'll be able to do all those things simultaneously. It'll be a very, very good processor, but it's still not the fastest. It's not the fastest. As long as they have Fabric, and as long as they have IO die, it'll never, ever be the fastest. All right, on to Big Navi here. All right, so they also gave us a little bit of a teaser for Big Navi. Where are we going here? That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, no, man. No. So disappointing. So disappointing. All right. I'm heartbroken over this, man. I wanted to upgrade to a PCI Express 4 system so bad. I'm gonna be stuck on PCI Express 3.0 forever. What do we got here? All right, what did they show here?
100X and our Radeon 6000 series. Just take a look at that performance. Over 60 frames per second at 4K with beautiful image quality. We are super excited with what
4K 60. What settings did they use here? 4K 60 Borderlands 3 badass quality. That we actually can compare. At least they're giving us hard FPS numbers. I'm cool with that. I actually don't have Gears 5, so I can't check that one, but I can check Modern Warfare and Borderlands 3. So let's do that. So let's start with Borderlands. This is on a 3080 right now. Let me move the core clock back to 0 and the memory back to 0. Let's see here. Apply. Fan power. All right. Let's go Borderlands. Okay, let's go options, visuals, full screen, 1080p, resolution scale 200, so this makes it 4K. VSync off, FPS limit unlimited, DX12, badass quality. I don't need that. Benchmark, start benchmark. Okay, let's see what happens here. What did they say, 61 FPS? Alright, there we go. What? Does it not give us stats? Oh, alright, 63.4. So that makes me way more excited for Big Navi than Zen 3. Way more excited. The Big Navi might actually be able to compete with the 3080. Even at 4K, I was not expecting that. That's sick. Like, that is awesome. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's go try some Warzone. That's awesome. The reason why that excites me is if Big Navi hits 61 FPS in this game at way less power draw, like, that's awesome. Like, that's a win for AMD in my books. The only problem I can foresee is if they have a 256-bit bus, and that was the 80CU model. So we know that the 3080 has 68 SMs and 760 gigabytes per second of bandwidth, right? If Big Navi has 80 SMs and 256-bit bus, I don't know, what was it, 560 gigabytes per second? You're seeing what I was talking about in the first place, where, I mean, we're assuming that was the 80SM model, or that was like the biggest Navi, right? But if it was, then that is horrible 4K scaling for Big Navi. Horrible scaling. I mean, it's just not enough bandwidth. It's literally, if they had an HBM model, this thing would be absolutely insane. But I don't know. It seems like they're cheaping out a little bit. But I mean, it's still a win in my books. If this is considerably, even if it doesn't scale and it doesn't have enough bandwidth, if it is significantly cheaper, then that's a win. That's a win for sure. I think that's a win. All right. So what we got here, we got everything maxed out. 4K. Everything at the absolute top of what we can enable, except ray tracing. That's obviously turned off. I mean, I'm assuming they had this turned off. That'd be cool if it was turned on. You know what? We can actually try that in the game. I'll turn this on in game, and then we'll see what the frame dip is. But everything else is maxed out. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. What did they say? 88 FPS, huh? And we're getting... What's the lowest FPS? 93? 92? Yeah, we can say about 100 FPS on average in a high-load scene, I guess? 101. It seems to be hovering around 105. Oh, 95. We got a 95 there. 94. On average, about 105, we'll say, in a big fight scene. So yeah, Big Navi, good on Big Navi, man. It's impressive. Let's see. Oh, quick, with RTX on, what happens? Oh my God, where is it? DirectX enable. Oh, that didn't do anything. All right, then whatever. Well, there you go. Those are the comparisons. Big Navi, thumbs up. Zen 3, thumbs down. So, the problem that I not foresee, but like, if that was the biggest Navi and that was 80 CUs, yeah, that sucks. They're not gonna come close to a 3090 without HBM. There's like, I guess they went for the not budget, but they cheaped out on the RAM, increased the cache to try and make the card cheaper than the 3080 while competing with the 3080, right? So the 3080 is always going to scale better at 4K because it has way more bandwidth. That's just like you're seeing a bandwidth choke on the big Navi card. That's the biggest problem. It won't ever come close to a 3090 because the 3090 just has like double the bandwidth for those higher resolutions, right? So what you have is an 80 CU Navi, assuming, well, we don't know, but 80 CU Navi being choked by its memory bandwidth. But the initial assessment still stands. That's going to be a 1080p monster. That is, I guarantee, I'm betting that Big Navi will be the 1080p and 1440p king. I don't know why they're trying to advertise it as, like, I don't know why AMD is trying to compete with Nvidia at their game in 4K. Like their marketing team should just go for the ones that they can just like I don't know, we'll see what happens, but yeah, you can't take 80 CUs of Navi and give it a 256-bit bus. It'll make the card cheaper for consumers, sure, but like maybe there will be an HBM refresh down the line somewhere. That's what we can really hope for, but right now, yeah, the 3090 is going to be your 4K king for the longest time until HBM comes out. But then on the other hand, why didn't they just go with 12 gigs of RAM and a 384-bit bus? That, like, it still would have been more RAM than a 3080. It would have given more bandwidth to the 80 CUs, and then it would have handedly beaten the 3080. It seems really silly for them to go for an extra 4 gigs of RAM, reduce the bandwidth, and then choke their own card. Like, they could have just gone with 12. Like, I don't know. Yeah, seems, maybe, hopefully they still might. I don't know. They wouldn't. They'll probably just go with HBM. But yeah, what a hit, what a shot and a miss that was, just going for 16, 256 instead of 12, 384. That was a big miss, big miss. In terms of Zen 3, I was pretty much right on the money on that one. You're gonna want those 8-core CCXs. Get the 37 or the 5700X or the 5950X. Stay away from the 6-core CCXs. You want to avoid that fabric clock at all costs. Now that we know that the IO die and the fabric speed is the same, the more you can keep your game away from the fabric, the better performance you're going to get. So that's why the 10900K is still going to win. I already went through all this in the last video. All the data in there is 100% accurate. Big Navi does perform better in 4K than I thought, but it's using 80 CUs to do it with a choked memory bus. So yeah, literally all the data in that last video was 100% accurate. I was dead on the money with all that. It's not rocket science, guys. It is what it is. AMD still loses, except in 1080p with Big Navi. That's going to be, and 1440p. That's going to be where they win. Anyway, overall, frame chasers, Looks like we're going to be stuck on PCI Express 3.0 for the next, like, 5 generations. It's such a gong show. If Rocket Lake comes out with 8 cores, that's a dead on arrival. I don't know, man. It looks like the 10900K is still going to be king for a long time. I don't know what else to say. Wait for more leaks, wait for benchmarks. Obviously, take anyone's opinion with a grain of salt, but so far I haven't been wrong about anything with the Ampere launch, and now with this one. This all seems like common sense to me, but you know the comment section down below is going to be flooded with ignorance and fanboyism, I suppose. Like, I don't know, but like, this all seems like common sense to me. It's 100% common sense, guys. Anyway, if you like the content, hit that subscribe button so you're always in the know about what's going to happen with products before they come out. And do all that YouTube SEO stuff for me. Like, share, subscribe, and comment down below what you think's going to happen about Big Navi and Zen 3. Am I wrong or am I right? Talk to you later.